Hello, team. YamatoCannon, back at you again with another vlog. We had a very tough weekend ahead of us. We ended up being 2-1, which of course is incredible. In the short term, because Navi was the last game, that's the one that is just running in my mind. I think it's very common for competitors, at least for me and a lot of people I know, is like triumphs become very short-lived and then you move on to the next thing, and the only thing that is running in my mind is like obviously like the Navi game. I think like The Rock bonked me, bro. He just Batista bombed me, WWE style. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Navi, very respectable team. They're very very good prep. We take some liberties, and as always with us, it's like we peel like layers off of the onion, right? And when we do a thing once, teams are not going to let us do it again, and we always need to kind of stay ahead of the curve. And now they bonked us. I think they had really good prep work, and I wasn't happy with the draft. I take it upon myself. Very disappointed myself on that one. You know, the haters prayed on my downfall for that one, and they succeeded. The haters were right on that one. But we zoom out, beating G2, beating MCOY. Those are LEC winners, finalists that didn't make roster changes. Very, very proud of those victories. I think the G2 game in particular, I feel like we were in control the entire time. It felt amazing. I felt like we could show all the progress we made. And we had really good macro. We had a decent early game too. We were in very, very good conditions throughout the game. And had some really, really brilliant team fighting. I was very, very happy and proud of the guys for that game. And obviously, we want to lean into creating more of those circumstances. B1s are vicious in both directions. And the learnings, you have to take them, of course, very, very quick. And then you move on. MCOY game was also super cool. A lot of cool moments in that game as well. I think we scaled into that game. And just Baus is, his improvement has been amazing. Like he listens to feedback, takes it in, and the moments where he was like frustrated. But I think it was always, I always try to reiterate to the boy that the differences aren't that big. The differences are the small things, but the top laners in the ADC are consistent on those small things. And if you find consistency in that, that's how you get to showcase your incredible skill that some of the other top laners don't have. And I think that's the crucial thing. You just master the basics, and then you can do the crazy shit. Because there's no crazy shit without the basics. Crazy shit just becomes risk if you don't manage the basics. So Bowser's improvement is amazing. I think like how we work with, like our early game still needs to improve. How we sync up early game, because we tend to go into some mid games bleeding, and that's something that we need to work on. Definitely. It's just like a balancing act of scaling versus early game and so forth, and trying to figure it out, because we did like draft early game compositions in the first week, right? And then we pivoted and we found a lot of success. And now the big games that are coming, massive massive ones. The SK game, for those who don't know, basically like due to like tiebreaker scenarios and so forth, the SK game is super super important. If we beat them, pretty much it's done and dusted, unless there's like free cases that probably won't happen. Um, the Eski game is going to be like a really big one. Feels bad because Mickey Wunder, I want them also to get through, but if they're by enemy, no mercy. No mercy at all. We really, really want to mess them up. That is going to be a massive match. Just just to linger a little bit longer on the G2, MCOY, MCOY, like how they play as a team, very impressive. I think that G2, seeing Capsule's Nemesis again, and both like exchanging blows within the game, and the Nemesis just having an insane Anivia performance. As a fan of the game, it felt good to watch. And the Crowny Revenge tour is also continuing. Like he got to beat Labrov, which is nice. Um, for me, people, I got asked the question. It's like, oh, do you feel any type of way? Do you feel like good about Los Ratones? Like people doubted you and you won. Honestly, it's like all of that's just noise, really. Like I only really care about how the players play, how they feel, how they experience it. That's like the only focus, and it just kind of has really blocked out anything else. like everything else is just completely blocked out, and everything else is just like pointless noise. If I was watching from outside, I would pay attention to the narratives and so forth because that would be the entertainment point. But I derive my joy from seeing the guys just playing together and doing better and better. Like my joy is from seeing them win. My joy is from seeing them succeed, and I think that's just the way I've worked. It's like it was easier to put in the hours and the effort if you have like bigger reasons than yourself as a buy-in. So it's been super fun. Uh, you know, it's interesting. You take a look back, and obviously hindsight is 2020. But that KCB match, some of the matches in the first week for sure. The KCB match, that's something that like sticks out as a sore thumb. But you get some, you lose some. There's so many games where teams like lose with 10k gold leads. Like for example, SK versus GX for the standings was such an important game, and SK was super far ahead, and they threw that against GX, so that was like a big one. There was also like for example our win against Shifters. There's a BO1 karma that kind of balances itself out, and it's crazy how much parity there is in the league. It's like these standings have looked so damn close, and um, that in itself makes it very very spicy. So and maybe we just it was meant to be that we lose against Navi, so the final weekend becomes even spicier. Because if we beat them, like we would be chilling, like it would be no worries, it would be relaxed, So like with that in mind, feels good. But obviously, the competitor in us is just zoomed in on Navi. We're gonna review the games, go through the games. It's going to be, super important to us to improve rapidly because all the other teams are going to do so too. I've said it multiple times. Competition is just. It was actually Shaves that sent me this view of it, but I think this is just a perfect way to describe competition. He sent me this ages ago and it stuck with me. Just competition is just running a race blindly, not knowing how fast your competitors are and not knowing the distance, but just running as fast as you can because you don't know what opportunities present themselves. Said this on past vlogs too. It's like it's a question of being ready to win when the opportunity presents itself. And if League Esports has showcased one thing, is that the seemingly impossible is possible because human nature takes place on the rift, and we see that real time. So it feels fantastic. Trying to think of what else to share. Really, um, you know, like the only thing, like I was pacing. I did like maybe 5,000 steps in the office, just walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just thinking about this Navi game, I could think like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things and decisions I could have done in draft. I could have put our team in a better spot. But fair play to Navi, man. Like even in scrims, these guys were always really, really tough and really sharp and had really clear ideas and really clear identities. And not only that, they had like strong identities, they were very capable of like moving that identity in different directions. And that's something that is very impressive. It's like some teams are very, let's say, recipe based. Like people like follow a recipe and that's how they win games while Navi like is in and out of that. And I think that in terms of coherence, team coherence, I think that Navi is the strongest team in the league. Individually, maybe a team like KC is better, right? I think KC, like in terms of team fighting and so forth, are really really like dangerous and sharp. You know, that's the nature of it. So all eyes on SK. Prep really really hard for SK. Vitality also important too, of course. But really really want to beat, of course, SK. Like playoffs, it's crazy, but um, like this week was supposed to be hard. MKOI G2, and there could have been a world where like we are just out, if we didn't go 2-1. So 2-1 feels amazing, and I'm very proud of the fact that we beat MKOI and G2. But it's also like one of those things where if we were in a spot where this didn't happen, then this whole situation where we could make it wouldn't be the same, as you know I thought that 4 wins would be enough if like things played out and there would be like a clear like favorite. But we have a Carmine Corp hamburger, plain and simple. Carmine Corp hamburger, KCB at the bottom, KC at the top, and the standings are so close. There's a world where like MCOI and G2 can't make it. Like that's how close the standings are, which is crazy to think about. Like obviously the odds of that happening is quite slim. Maybe MCOI because they lose head-to-head against us and Shifters, but like to even conceive of that world, considering like all tier lists and everyone's expectations coming into the split, I think it's quite wild. We're gonna keep working hard. We have scrims lined up with majority LEC teams. I feel like scrims have been a very hot topic. Hopefully, after LEC versus, I can show you guys our win ratios and give a little bit more insight about our decision making and our prep and the challenges that we faced, which will be fun and interesting. But obviously, more on that later. Now it's just like I don't want to review anything that could be compromising to us. I'm forever, very grateful that I'm a part of this journey. There's a sense of melancholy for me because I think probably this is going to be my last team ever. Probably my last team ever. I say probably because you never know what happens in the future. Maybe I have to do something or there's a opportunity that I just can't pass up on. But as it looks right now, like I think that this is going to be my retirement run in the LEC. I can't imagine what would incentivize me to come back. So I do see it as my last rendezvous. I think Reckless mentioned something similar, right? And I feel like I'm in the same boat. I'm starting to think, married life and having kids and buying a house and getting a couple of chickens, maybe. That's where I'm at. So with that in mind, try to think what else to add. I don't think there's really anything. Just happy to be in this position. Happy to be here. Berlin's cold as balls. Like I am just freezing, absolutely freezing. So there's that. Yeah, I think if you start talking about the weather, it's good time to wrap up the video. So and it just means I have nothing to talk about. But cheer for us, SK. We're coming for you. We're gonna mess you up, and we're gonna do it Los Ratones style. So catch you guys on the flip. If you made it to the end of the video, bless you, and if you sneezed, bless you as well. Take care.